Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
My goodness. We were going to do a live stream, but we changed our mind because we've got a lot of screenshots to show, and we're having a few small computer issues.
Not internet issues, computer issues.
Yeah, we finally get faster internet that is amazing, and now we're starting to have little glitches in our computer, and I went and looked, and come to find out my hard drive is almost full. There's only about that much room left on it. I have ordered another one, and it should be here next week, but we're having to kind of watch how much we do with the internet. Unfortunately, our editing program for videos takes up the majority of my current hard drive, and that's the one that keeps crashing and glitching and is difficult. Takes, how many hours did it take for you to upload videos the other day? Oh my goodness.
It wasn't so much uploading as it was editing it.
Yeah, my goodness.
About ready to take a gun out and shoot the computer.
You're not touching my computer. So, first of all, we want to thank all of you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your comments, even the negative ones. And thank you for all of the Christmas cards and Christmas gifts. We appreciate it very much. All the goodies from all over the world. My goodness, thank you for your generosity. We appreciate it. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. And a big thank you to all of our current viewers. Oh, where to begin? We got lots to cover. It might be a long one.
You're in the driver's seat, dear. I'm just here along for the ride and add some commentary where it's appropriate.
Yeah. Now, first of all, YouTube sent me an email, and I want to brag a little bit because this is a major achievement. I mean, we've never had numbers like this before. In the 10 years we've been doing this, you know, I don't remember ever having numbers like this. But this is what YouTube sent me. My year on YouTube, 2023. We had 2,272 new subscribers. Awesome. And this is what was like, wow, 1.4 million views just in the past 12 months. That is a lot. You know, I don't know, and actually we're about to hit 18 million views overall on the lifetime.
Yeah.
Because we started our channel in 2014, because this is our second channel.
Right.
Since we lost the first one. But 125 uploads this past year with 14.2 thousand shares, 90,000 likes, and 21,000 comments. That is amazing. And when you look at the analytics, our videos got 1 million. Well, actually, I'll just say 1.5 million views in the past 12 months. So thank you, everybody. You know, we couldn't have done this without you. And in YouTube's email, our most viewed video this past year was the breaking news out of Pennsylvania, 5 JWs arrested. And it says almost 2,700 hours watched. But when you go to the analytics, it's at the top, as you can see, with 58,000 views. So thank you, thank you. And we do know for a fact that several Jehovah's Witnesses watched it, because we know, they told us.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you just don't have any idea how many JWs are contacting us.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
exactly. So thank you, everybody, for giving us a phenomenal year. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you very much. So we've got some other news that we want to cover. And I'm going to go to jw.org, And when you click on news and then scroll down to Town of Fishkill, New York, USA, gives approval for new support center for Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes, on October 27, 2023, site plan approval was granted for a new construction at the Bethel facilities in the town of Fishkill, New York. This approval from the town planning board means that work on the new Fishkill Support Center of Jehovah's Witnesses can begin immediately. Another cult complex for their
Jim Jones! Excuse me.
yeah, I know, Kool-Aid's next.
That's all they're doing here, guys, is they're creating Jonestown, USA, upstate New York.
Yeah, the Fishkill Bethel facilities are located about 40 miles north of the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses in Warwick. The brothers and sisters serving at Fishkill work in computer support, information technology, and other assignments. The new construction will be built on a 57-acre site across the street from the existing Bethel accommodations. And then it goes on to talk about how huge this is going to be. Yeah, it's just a real estate empire they're building.
That's all it is. 20
Yeah.
or 30 years from now, they'll be making, $2, $3, $4, $500,000 on a building. That's what they did with all their property in New York. They got it for little or nothing, got the Jehovah's Witnesses to maintain the buildings for free, pristine buildings, and then they turn around and sell them for untold billions of dollars.
Now, when you scroll down, there's two pictures of proposed what it's going to look like. And when you look between those two pictures, this is what I thought was interesting. While most of the construction work will be outsourced, it will be overseen by a few brothers serving at Bethel. The facility is projected to be completed by October 2025. So hopefully Armageddon won't come before they're done with this new building. But see, when it says outsourced,
Right.
translation means slaves, JW slaves are not going to be doing this work themselves. It's being hired out, paid for by your donations and their stocks and bonds and hedge funds, is going to be paid out to professional contractors.
I wonder if that means they're going to have some sort of bat cave underneath all of that.
It wouldn't
Those
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. We already know they have cement bunkers.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Water retention
Buildings, lockers, whatever, yeah.
underneath Warwick. Yeah.
Yeah. They need all of that water storage because there's right next to a lake.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm going to put the link down below to all of this that I'm going to cover from here on out, because the jw.org news, you can go click on that and it's right, scroll down. And I want to thank Jan Nilsen in Norway. He has posted on Twitter. There is going to be a hearing in Oslo. He says it starts off with the Norwegian Watchtower leader, I know I'm going to slaughter this, Sotterhag, then off to Ralph Furley. Now we all know Ralph Furley was an ex-district overseer, circuit overseer who left and wrote a book and they disfellowshipped him. Then the rest of us follow on. Wish you could all see this. Monday at 9, a woman that was de-affed at age 14 will tell her story. Her mom follows next. And then when you scroll down, he's got links to some of these people telling their stories. And so we wish you all the best in this. And also, we covered this, years ago. In fact, let me look at the date here. Yeah, back in 2020. But it's worth mentioning again because here in the United States, the Congress or the Supreme Court, I don't remember which, is working on trying to get Epstein's flight plans and all of those released to the public.
Yeah, Senator Marshall Blackburn's really trying to push to subpoena the flight logs, in particular the flights going to Epstein Island, and also his little Black Book. And some of you may not find this of interest. I know a lot of you will. But there's actually a connection here in New Mexico with Zorro Ranch. Governor Bill Richardson, who's passed away, and our current governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, were known to have visited that ranch quite regularly. So there's a lot of things that could potentially be brought out into the public view that's going to be very damaging to a whole lot of people. And that's why some of the Democrats are trying to block this subpoena getting out into the public.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the right-wing politicians are on that list.
Exactly, because
I've seen photos.
they're all the same. They're all the same.
So, celebrities, politicians, you know, congressmen, senators, probably all the way up to the president.
Well, there again,
Presidents.
there again, you have some sort of sex scandal, and look how easy it is to blackmail people. I mean, even a sex scandal in this community destroys people.
Yeah.
See, so that's one of the things that that's going to be very eye-opening, and how much potential blackmail is involved with our highest paid politicians.
Yeah, and you can see why the corruption goes all the way to the top and nothing gets done.
Well, yeah, because they're all potentially being blackmailed into silence.
Yeah.
Or voting a certain way.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of background of what's going on here in the United States. And a lot of people, like I said, celebrities, politicians, everybody is scared because are they on this? And some, I think he was a senator, congressman, they keep asking him, how come you're trying to block this being released to the public? Are you on this list? I know Nats.
I know the Nazis. It's okay as long as it don't fly up my nose.
Yeah. But the reason we bring this up, because that's the background of what's going on in here in the United States, but there is a connection with Watchtower possibly and Jehovah's Witnesses, because I'm going to put the link down below. This is the dailymail.com, and we covered this years ago. The parents of Ghislaine Maxwell's lieutenant, Sarah Gellin. So this, we know Maxwell was the lieutenant. Well, this would be her assistant, her lieutenant. Sarah Gellin worried their daughter will be arrested and charged in Epstein's CSA trafficking ring, as they claim teen was brainwashed. And the reason we bring this up is because they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
The parents are still Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, I'll just read this part right here. This Gellin is accused of playing a pivotal role in Epstein's predatory empire, procuring girls, coaching them on how to pleasure the warped financier, and acting as a lieutenant to his alleged former Madam Maxwell. But according to her devoutly religious parents, Sarah Gellin should be treated as a victim rather than a co-conspirator, because she was groomed and manipulated after falling out with her family and going to work for Epstein in her teens. Thomas and Mary Gellin, both Jehovah's Witnesses, told DailyMail.com in an exclusive interview that their daughter was naive and vulnerable when she met the billionaire pedophile and could now pay a heavy price for being swept into his vile world. Well, it's interesting that, you know, they mention how she was naive and vulnerable in all of this when she was in her teens. Well, did she leave the organization? And we know a lot who leave the organization, we're all naive and vulnerable because we're isolated within the Jehovah's Witnesses. And how do we know? Maybe they kicked her out because she left. That happens a lot. And these people fall into, you know, bad times.
Yeah.
Bad times.
Well, we've all seen, you know, Watchtower's little presentation of gal getting disfellowshipped, and after a little bit of time she calls mommy, and mommy looks at the phone, puts the phone down. Well, this is potentially that situation right there.
Yeah, exactly. Now this was interesting, and I'm like, Oh, good Lord. And I want to thank everybody who sends me, the links and all of this information. This is also from the Daily Mail. This one is from December 17th, 2023, though. Former Jehovah's Witness, whose parents were siblings, opens up about their twisted relationship, which saw them having 7 children together.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do do do.
Yeah.
Do do do. I got deliverance written all over this.
Yeah. Vanessa from Ohio appeared on an episode of the We're All Insane podcast. A former Jehovah's Witness whose parents were siblings has opened up about their twisted relationship which saw them having 7 children together. Vanessa from Northeast Ohio appeared on a recent episode of the We're All Insane podcast alongside host Deborah Roloff. The 46-year-old explained how she was one of 7 children born to a brother and sister, a fact she found out aged 9. She said, I was in the 3rd grade. I didn't really understand whether that was right or wrong. I didn't know. My grandmother was happy that her children found somebody to love, and it just kind of became normal. Yeah, that is insane. In the clip, which was shared to YouTube earlier this week, Vanessa dished on the bizarre family dynamic. She began by explaining how her parents got legally married in 1974, adding, I guess back then they didn't have to show a lot of ID. Well, yeah, you had to show ID, because we were married in 79.
You still, in most states, or some states, you still were required to do blood tests.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, they had different last names. They did have different fathers, and they swore under oath they were no close of kin than second cousin, and they walked out with a marriage license. Now, right there, if they're good Jehovah's Witnesses and they lied,
No paradise for them.
yeah. It was around this time that her parents enrolled as Jehovah's Witnesses, which caused friction among the congregation due to the incestual nature of the relationship. The entire congregation knew. I know people there didn't like it, but if you talk against a decision, you're going to get labeled an apostate, so they kind of had to deal with it. So, just one of those that were like, yeah, right?
You just have to sit and laugh because this whole world is getting to be more and more Looney Tunes.
I know it. I know it. So, but we do have a feel-good story that we wanted to share. A couple of weeks ago, we woke up, put the furnace on because it was really cold out in the morning,
Yeah.
and it was blowing cold air. And it's like, oh crap. And it was supposed to freeze really hard that night. So, as you all know, we live in the middle of nowhere, and it's really hard to get somebody out here, which is 65 miles from Albuquerque, the nearest city, at a drop of a hat. You have to make an appointment and that. So I called around to several places, and most of them couldn't get to it till the following week. And I'm like, well, our pipes are going to freeze. We need, a tech out here. Finally, called a place in the city, and they were very nice, and they said, we can get someone out there today because we know it's going to freeze hard tonight. But it's going to be $120 an hour, and they start their time at what we call the Big I, which is like a big clover leaf of 2 freeways merging in the center of Albuquerque. Their time starts there. So it's $120 per hour, and then a $75 service call. So that alone was going to be about $450. So I said, okay, do you take credit cards? Okay, we'll get somebody out there. So it's like, okay, we're just going to have to bite the bullet, and we're just going to have to put this on the credit card and just pay it off a little at a month, okay? So he wasn't too happy about it. Now, he had tried to look at the thermostat because we figured it was the thermostat because we've been having trouble with the thermostat in the past. And he tried to fix
Yeah,
it.
it actually had a broken wire, so I soldered that back in place. It worked, but the furnace still was not, the igniter was not igniting the propane.
So we figured it was probably the igniter or the thermostat. So he drove all the way out here. And very nice young man. We talked. We helped him as much as we could. And sure enough, it was our thermostat.
Yeah.
It was our thermostat, and he happened to have had a new one in his truck. Now, the interesting thing is it's the old dial kind. It was brand new, but it's the old dial kind. And he says, I will give you this thermostat. I won't charge you for this thermostat because nobody wants this old kind. They all want the new digital ones. So it's like, okay, thank you. We appreciate it. So he gets it all done, checks everything out. It's working fine. And he says, oh, by the way, he said, where's the local gas station?
Oh, yeah. yeah. Go ahead.
And we said, well, there was one about 13 miles north that you went past. And he says, yeah, I seen that one, but there's a sign on the pump that says out of order.
Yep.
And just the other day I looked and it's still out of order.
Yeah.
And I says, well, there's another one about 13 miles south of us in Mountain Air. Or there's one about 22 miles in Estancia.
Then he goes, I don't think I have enough gas to even go 13 miles. And it's like, how could you leave Albuquerque knowing you're going at least 100 miles round trip minimum and not top off your gas tank? Well, he thought there was a gas station on the way. There was, but the pumps were out of order.
Yeah, because other than that, there's no gas stations between us and the city unless you are into Harris, but then drive 5 miles east. So Mike, being the nice person, he says, well, I happen to have a 5-gallon can full of gas that we keep for our lawnmower. He says, I will give that to you. And this wonderful, nice young man, he says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, I'm not going to charge you for anything.
Yeah.
If you give me the gas. And it's like, oh, we will give you the gas. And I says, but, we'll pay you for your time, fixing and replacing our thermostat.
And that's what was so weird about this, because we was going to give him the gas just to be, neighborly, kind, and doing the decent human thing, and still offered to pay for his services.
Yeah. Yeah. But he says, no. He says, I'm not going to charge you anything. And then under his breath, he says, because I know what the company is going to charge you.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, what an amazing young man. So we went outside, we got the gas can, and while he's putting the gas in, I told Mike, I says, go get some cash. And I said, let's at least give him a tip for coming all the way out here and replacing this for him. So that's what we did. We gave him a very, very large tip.
Yeah.
And
which he didn't expect at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like Merry Christmas. And it's like, wow, that was amazing. But I wanted to bring this story out because there are still a lot of good people in the world with kind hearts. And so many of these young people who work for these companies, they're like, yeah, I know what they're charging you, and I'm just going to write it off and call it good.
Yeah.
So
it worked out good. I mean, it was really, it worked out for a mutual benefit.
yeah. And I will be calling that company again if we ever have any heating and cooling problems. So that was, amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here to cover. I know this is a long video. We are also hearing that many congregations, in their prayers at the meetings, they are asking for Jehovah's help for there not to be any, divisions over the new beard policy that the governing body has come out with. In fact, thank you very much for letting me know this. Closing prayer in a Spanish congregation Please, Jehovah, don't let there be divisions. Let all accept the new direction from the governing body on beards. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
So I'd like to maybe just share an email we got real recently regarding this whole beard thing. Dear Mike and Kimmy, I would like to express my gratitude for the commendable work you are doing as ex-JW YouTubers. After watching one particular video, I feel compelled to share a few moments of my life with you. Upon awakening, I made the decision to fade from the JW organization. In 2019, I resigned as an elder and opted to continue as a regular pioneer to prevent misconceptions in my 6-year serving congregation. In 2020, I watched your video entitled, "Is Watchtower Changing Their View on Beards and Goatees?" which prompted me to grow a beard. This raised concerns among congregation elders who believed it caused stumbling among members. In response, I argued that wearing a beard is not a sin, citing examples from Watchtower artwork and recent publications. Despite my defense, elders notified the circuit overseer and sought clarification from the branch office to remove me as a regular pioneer. So there again, there's a little bit more. I just don't need to read that, but like I said in a previous video, I believe it's going to take a circuit overseer growing a beard to help the rest of the JW men become comfortable wearing a beard, because we all know that within Watchtower's nonsense, you look to the elders as the example, and if the elders ain't setting a good example, then you look to the circuit overseer. And that's pretty much as far as it goes, as far as looking at another man for setting an example. So I believe, you know, you're probably going to see one or two here and there, but until you see a circuit overseer with a beard, it's not, in my opinion, it's not really going to catch on as much as some might think it's going to.
But that email shows me when Let says that they were asking for clarification, this tells me that this wasn't the only incident that
Right.
because Let said from all over the world. So there was probably a lot more that were asking for clarification because the brothers were starting to grow beards. You're welcome. But thank you. Thank you very much for all the emails. Now, I don't want to go after anybody, and I don't want to be unkind. I just want to address a few things because, you know, it's unfair. It's unfair for somebody to say something like this. And so I just want to talk about this comment. And my daughter's the one that sent me the screenshot, and I went back and they did make several other comments. And this is user-by1DC5JF1Q. Shyla, and you or your parents won't respond to this. We are now.
We are.
That's the new game. Just move on to the next video. But your icon picture behind the cactus makes you look crazy. You have already been told that you are defiant. So let me tell you about my sense of humor. And then they go on to talk about their sense of humor. Now, first of all, they say, you or your parents won't respond to this. Okay. I just said that we have over 21,000 comments this past year.
Not to include the emails we get.
Well, I was going to mention that
Yeah.
here. But I have freely given my email for anybody who absolutely has to contact me. You just need to be patient because I get 200 to 300 emails per week. And it takes me a while to go through those. But I cannot physically read every single comment and reply to every single comment. If I even tried to do that, That means nothing would get done here in the house. I couldn't work on our side business. I couldn't do any more videos. I couldn't do any more research. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't answer anybody else. You know, just like when someone sends me this long thing this long and says, hey, can you research this? No, I can't. I don't have time to do all this research. And like you said, you said, you or your parents won't respond to this. Well, like you said in one of your comments, that's just an excuse, because they made the comment that just saying you have a mental health issue or autism or PTSD or CPTSD is just an excuse. Well, this is just an excuse. Because respond to what?
Your hate?
Respond to what? What do you want me to say? You say our daughter looks crazy in her picture, and then one of your comments is like, you didn't really celebrate Christmas because there's no pictures of your Christmas tree. Well, our Christmas tree's in the living room.
Well,
I didn't find it necessary because you know what? It doesn't matter what we celebrate. To us, Christmas and these holidays are just a family time to get together.
well, you know, here's part of the issue in this community. And we've observed this for years, is that many XJWs have multiple usernames, which allows them to be nasty, hateful people. Because when they get blocked using one username, well, it's no big deal. I got 5 others I can use, and I'll still go over and I'll blow up their channel with hateful, spiteful comments. For whatever reason, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses seem to be famous for doing this. It's just mind-blowing. It really is. But I just want to repeat the words of a real famous person. This person said, out of the heart's abundance, so the fingers will type. What you're expressing is what's in your own heart, your own fears, in your own inadequacies, your own lack of context in your own life. So you have to reach out and do this, because it really speaks more of you as a person than it is the person that you're attacking.
Yeah. And they also said that Shyla worked at a college and she was talking like she was woke. But isn't it interesting how the right and left always try to label us of the opposite of what they are?
And that's exactly what Watchtower does. That's a Watchtower control mechanism. Look at all of the abuse victims the Catholic Church is hiding, but yet look at what Watchtower's doing.
Yeah. Shyla does not work at a college. She works at a high school. And she is not woke. And the thing is they also said that live stream was designed just to plug her book. No, it wasn't. It was just trying to talk to our daughter and get caught up with her and let the community know what she's been up to for the past 10 years. Some in this community actually know our kids.
Yeah.
And care about them, and always send me messages or in our cards. A lot of these cards say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and Mike and Shyla and James.
And you know how many people send them specific Christmas cards because they don't have their current address? They send them to us knowing that we're going to give it to them.
Yeah. And she wasn't there just to plug her book, because her book is not for the XJW community. It's just to help those that are going through the same difficulties she's been going through.
Jealousy is rottenness to the bones. Out of the heart's abundance, your rotten bones will be exposed.
Yeah. One of the comments said that she was fake and that she was using autism as an excuse. Then saying anyone who is PTSD or other mental health disorders are using it as an excuse, and they have a mental health disorder. So that's the thing that we have been trying to fight against in this community, is there's so many with mental health issues. And let's face it, being in a cult for any length of time, you have, whether it's psychological, physical, spiritual, CSA, we all have some form of trauma. And that's what we have been speaking out against for years. And for someone to be judgmental and say these things, I mean, it's just totally uncalled for. And may I remind you that I don't respond to comments because it's like, I love all of your comments, even the negative ones, and we appreciate everybody commenting. But I physically cannot answer and read every single one. And unfortunately, there's many comments like this. It's like, oh, well, I leave all these comments and you never answer me. Well, if there's something I have to answer, email me. I freely gave out my Gmail account, KimmyAnnBrooks@gmail.com.
But see, they actually do this underneath our videos knowing that we're not going to respond, so they think they're getting away with, bashing us. Because they will never email a comment like this to us. Because when I get a hold of an email like this, it ain't pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't pretty. Because I don't put up with that crap.
Yeah.
Or at least I shouldn't.
And a lot of times, I don't mention this, but, there's a lot of great comments. I do read comments when I can. I just don't read every single one. And I would love to give all of you who are giving love and support to all of us a heart on your comment. So, it's like I just physically cannot respond. Don't take it personally. Obviously, this person is taking it personally. Yeah, that's the new game. Just move on to the next video. Well, do you want us to do videos to help everybody? Or do you want me to sit and answer and read every single comment in every single one of yours, especially when you leave like 6 comments underneath every video?
Crying for attention.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
What a lot of it is.
Guess what?
Like you said, just using it as an excuse. Well, you're just using this as an excuse.
Well, if you're not getting a response from us, go blow up the channel Critical Thinkers. Go blow up GG for GB's channel. Go blow up. There's 1,000 XJWs. Go blow up underneath their comment section. Maybe they'll have a little more time to respond to you as opposed to us.
A lot of them don't.
Well,
a lot of them don't.
A lot of them don't because it's so overwhelming.
Yeah. And, it's very difficult being on this side of it because I would love to be able to help everybody. I would love to be able to help all of you with your research when you can't find stuff. And if somebody sends me, something specific they're looking for, I probably have it. If I don't, Atlantis will have it. But, as an example, someone's wanting me to do research. And it was a specific scene in one of Watchtower's videos. Oh my God, do you know how many thousands of videos? I don't know which one was a specific scene. I don't have time to watch every single one of their videos or movies to see where, Noah was doing this. It's just physically impossible. And I just don't have a team like most of these YouTube, prominent YouTubers do.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's just me. And it's just me trying to, because it isn't just the emails from the SJW community. We still are running a business. That takes a lot of time too. So, at least we can support ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never beg for money. We never ask for money.
And we don't need a shitload of merchandise either.
Yeah. But because we have to support ourselves and run this business, that takes a lot of time. I still have to do most things here in the house. That takes time. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I just don't have the time to respond to every single comment. And I'm sorry your feelings are hurt. Don't take it personal. But there's many others that, feel the same way. Oh, well, you never respond to my comments. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment. So anyway, I just hope that all of you can understand. And I know most of you do. Because a lot of the emails I do get, it'll say urgent. It's like, I know you're busy, but I thought you might be interested in this. Like sending me this much research on a subject, and it's like, okay, so do you want me to do research on the flat earth, or do you want me to continue what I have to do, like running a business, doing everything else? I'm sorry, I just don't have time. Mike's time is very limited also. We appreciate all of your research, and we don't mind you sending it to us. But what, are you trying to get us to do videos about it? I don't know. So anyway, end of my addressing that. And, it's just sad because our daughter came forward talking about her mental health issues and autism, trying to help others, to let them know they're not alone, and then someone has to make negative comments.
And this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
So guess what? Do you think she's coming back to the community to try to help? No.
No. Once again, they've done it to my daughter. Lloyd did it, and now this person has done it.
Yeah.
When will this community learn? It'll be a hard lesson, is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Go after all the others. I don't know why everybody has to pick on us all the time. It's constant. It's constant. I just get so fed up sometimes of just the constant, just like the Bible bullies. Oh, I'm not a submissive enough wife, but yet, oh, well, you allow Mike to do the videos he does. So what is it? Do you want me to basically beat him into submission and not allow him to do the videos he does against the Bible? Or do you want me to be more submissive like a Hispanic woman? Which was a very racist comment, by the way.
They'll never get it because Watchtower still dwells in their minds. That's what I keep saying. They'll never get it. Right, Jane Doe? Because Watchtower is prominent in their minds. Out of the heart's abundance, the mind will make the mouth speak it. It's not difficult. It's really not.
So thank you for watching, all of you. We appreciate it. And we hope you have a happy new year.
Bye.
Bye.